Aviation is a dynamic world, with travelers heading to or coming from their destinations. A gigantic puzzle that demands the utmost from everybody involved. Every day is a challenge to match the timetables in this dynamic but also hectic industry. A challenge that is accomplished by people, competent people. It is your task as a flight training organization to train those pilots, to train the pilots that possess the required competencies. As the airline industry moves into the next decade, you will have to adjust to the new demands that this industry poses. The dynamic but also hectic environment demands competent pilots. Pilots who not only fly from A to B, but who act according to the company's strategy. Pilots who remain fit, enthusiastic, and motivated. Pilots who have that little bit extra that makes the airline stick out in a positive way. Are these competencies trainable? Can anyone learn to be a good pilot? Although there is quite a bit you can improve through training, every pilot will need to have these competencies to some extent. You can only develop what is present. It's your challenging task to choose from the students who apply. Those youngsters that have a good chance of completing their flight training within the programmed amount of time. Both the flight training, the student, and the student's parents want to avoid extra training costs. And more importantly, you as a flight training organization want to send good pilots to the airlines. The least you want is to be one of their preferred suppliers. But how do you find these students? The ones that stick out in a positive way? How do you select the students that help the airline industry into the next decade with different demands? The answer is simple. With the help of the GPSS, the Global Pilot Selection System. Operational excellence can only be achieved if you are able to select the right students. With the aid of GPSS, this is not a challenge anymore. GPSS is a web-based application that allows you to run it yourself from your own office. After the student has completed the tests, the report is immediately available to you. You will have the entry level of the student in writing before you when you make the decision. This document does not only enable you to make the decision concerning admission, but it's also a valuable instrument to guide your flight training. Selecting competent students has never been easier. Students will have to be critical. In the cockpit, we have to avoid groupthink. At the age of your student, this is often not yet a visible feature. Some people develop it, and some do not. For a pilot, however, it is a critical feature. Critical students have a better chance of making sound decisions. This is what is measured with the verbal test. Statements are posed concerning situations which may deceive the pilot to assume the obvious. This test gives you a clear insight into whether the student is able to distinguish between his assumptions and the facts. Situational awareness is the key factor to pilot success. It comprises several features, including spatial orientation and geographical orientation. It may be hard for some students to orientate themselves. During flight training, it's necessary to have good situational awareness. The ability of students to perform several tasks simultaneously is critical to their performance. For this reason, 2 separate multiple tasks are included in the test battery. The first one assesses multiple tasking on a skill-based, rule-based, and knowledge-based level. The ability to make calculations under increasing time pressure is also measured. A student uses memory a lot. During theoretical training and practical training, short-term and long-term memory are essential. During flight, they store ATC information and process all of the decision-making activities in this part of the brain. The test assesses the student's ability to store and recall information. A distinction is made here between verbal, visual, and auditory information. Every student has a different way of learning. Some like to see several examples before they see the broader picture, while others start with the overall view. Some learn easier with visual information, while others prefer verbal information. Some students are achievers, while others study more deeply. For an instructor, it's important to know what the learning strategy of his student is. This could be important information during training. The personality of the student is important. He has to be a good team worker, make effective decisions, represent the school in a positive way, be stable, and have a healthy approach to life. The personality questionnaires in GPSS give you plenty to talk about in your interview. Use them as a guideline, and you will get in-depth information.
For a flight training organization, a good selection procedure is essential. The Global Pilot Selection System is an effective tool to select those students who have what it takes in terms of cognitive level, flying aptitude and personality. This way we reduce our training time, we make our business more profitable, and our students remain enthusiastic. Even more importantly, the quality of our school is measured by the quality of our students when they enter the airline. We want to maintain our good name and deliver a high quality of students. If this is also your aim, the Global Pilot Selection System is a good start.